All right, guys, I'm here with Brad Judd, basically club owner, team organizer, coach, father, everything you can think of. He brought one team per division this weekend. His elementary third team finished third overall. His high school team finished fourth overall. Brad, tell us how your teams did in general at this year's Crusade.
They did better than I anticipated. I didn't think anybody would place. I was just coming more out for mat time for the kids. The K3 team did really well. Of course, the high school team finished fourth. We took some losses. Maybe we could have been closer, but it is what it is. I got one of our kids on the K3 team and built around that, and a couple on the K6 that we built around as well. So it all worked out well.
Are there? I mean, you got a lot of teams here, and it's a lot of people to remember. I know you can't be on every mat yourself, but are there any individual wrestlers' performances this weekend that really stood out to you, whether they were your outstanding wrestler or not?
So on the K3 team, Easton Wilson, I think he went 3-1 or 3-2. He's an up-and-coming wrestler, so he's kind of new, but for him to come out and perform the way he did was pretty impressive. On the K6 team, we had James Hedrick and Parker Williams both outperform what they had been at this division, this weight. Parker's a fourth grader, so he was a third grader last year, and bumping up to a new division, new weight, has struggled a little bit, but he came through this weekend with a couple of big pins. Middle school, I'd say Hayden Black and Colby Grossi. Colby wrestles for me for my middle school team at Ayler Middle School. Never been to a duel before, decided he wanted to step up last minute, so he drove up with me on Friday, and I think he got 2 wins on the weekend, so just proud of him for taking that step and jumping into a pool that he's not used to. High school team, what can I say? There's a bunch of kids just doing what they do, what they enjoy doing, so nothing really stood out there other than the fact we just gelled really quickly as a team.
So you guys have a wrestling club in Winchester, Virginia. You're involved with the middle school. Your son's a senior in high school. It'd be easy for you to bring one team, or maybe just the age division that your son is. But for the most part, every tournament that you attend, whether it's a Tyrant tournament or not, I always see where you're trying to put one team in every single division. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of time. And why do you work? Why do you do that? Why do you put yourself in that position to have to have all that additional work to put those teams in sometimes? Because I know how hard it is, but and this is kind of a loaded question, but I think other people should know why you do that and why you work so hard.
So Keegan's first year wrestling, Brian Rogie from Smithfield Wrestling and Tom Kidler from Powerhouse both took him on teams that he probably shouldn't have been on. So he kind of got a chance when nobody else really gave him one. So we live in an area where not many people are banging on your door to go wrestle in duels, so I figured I'd give that same opportunity that was given to my kid to somebody else's. So there'll be times where I don't have a kid from my club in the division, but we're still putting in a K3 team or a K6 team or a middle school team. So just the opportunity for other kids to get the exposure.
So I know you mentioned you didn't wrestle. I know there was a bet with the football coach for your own kid, but the fact that you didn't wrestle, but you've been so involved with wrestling, what is your perspective kind of from that sideline or that outside looking in? Like, why should kids wrestle? Why should they give it a try, or why should they stick with it even if they're not winning all the time?
A lot of it has to do with life moving forward. You can be down a match 14-0 and come back and win, getting your teeth kicked in over and over and over again and just pushing through. The showing up, which is about 90% of it, the drive, the mental focus that it takes to go, just the growth that it forces young men and now young women into, I think, is just above and beyond other sports.
Yeah. One last question for you. How'd you come up with the name 84 Athletes?
So this one comes up a lot. So a buddy of mine, Sean Hibbard, played indoor football, and it's essentially his jersey number. We started out with Team 84 Athletes. It seemed kind of long in the tooth to be saying out loud, so when we expanded to wrestling, I dropped the team part of it, just went 84 Athletes for the wrestling part of it. So that's the secret. That's where it came from. Yeah. Just to let you know, we started a girls team that'll start practicing this week. It's an all-girls practice, all-girls team with an all-girls coach. So be on the lookout for that. We'll start filling the teams and divisions for that as well.
Well, I think for me personally, it's cool to have you come to our tournaments, and it's great to have your support and entering teams in our tournaments. But I think, for me, one of the things that I appreciate most is just the personal relationship that we've developed over the past couple years, and getting to know you and your family and things like that. So we wish you the best. We look forward to continuing to work with you. We want nothing but best. And again, we talk about family all the time, but we truly do care about you. We appreciate all your support and all the opportunities you provide for the kids that are coming on your teams. Thank you,
I appreciate
Coach.
it. Thank you.
All right.